so we can get that full hour. Thank you for starting the recording, Dane. I'm Chad Patton, so I'm the Director of Development and Innovation at West Michigan Works. And so I am also maybe one of many point people for MiCareerQuest, but I will tell you if you message me, I always make sure that your email gets to the right person. Sometimes the right person might be some of my colleagues who have joined me today. Um, I'm joined by Dane Sanders and Jennifer Summers. So they're here really to observe, but also they do a lot of work in partnership with all of the schools that attend MiCareerQuest. So having them here so you can put a face with a name is hopefully helpful for all of you. So I'm going to kick us off with just a little bit of information about West Michigan Works, and then we can kind of talk about MiCareerQuest. I'm also going to try to present in Teams. Here we go. All right, so to kick us off, if you are unfamiliar with West Michigan Works, we are the organization that has been, providing MiCareerQuest for since 2015, and we're proud to be the originators of MiCareerQuest as well. We kicked it off in partnership with Kent Intermediate School District, as well as the Construction Workforce Development Association, I think CWDA. And it's grown ever since. Not only has it grown from just one county and one industry, we of course are now 7 counties and 6 industries, which we'll go into in a moment. But our 7 counties that align with the counties that West Michigan Works is the Public Workforce Board for. They're the counties of Allegan, Berry, Ionia, Kent, Montcalm, Muskegon, and Ottawa. And so a part of that is we provide services both to job seekers, people interested in connecting with work, as well as to businesses. And one plug I'll put in, if you have not heard of our Ascend program is actually targeted toward out-of-school youth, youth ages 16 to 24, who are not currently in a program that's funded by the K through 12 system. But we also love to make sure we connect with teachers and with counselors who might be working with seniors who are preparing to graduate but may not know what exactly they want to do after they graduate. We have phenomenal career coaches who are ready to work with youth and help them on their way to finding a career or moving into post-secondary education. So I will mention I am the acting manager for Ascend, and I'm happy to connect with you if that is of interest to you. So wanted to put a plug in there. But let's talk about MiCareerQuest. Um, as all of you hopefully know, it's May 20th, 2026. It is right around the corner, and which is why you're all here today. So thank you for being here. And today the goal is really to kind of set some expectations and then help all of you feel confident about what MiCareerQuest is, how the day works, and how to prepare your students. And my hope is that we've gotten at least some information out to you early enough that you've already been able to prepare students. And so we are endeavoring to continue to do that and to make sure that you have information as quickly as we can get it out to you. And I'm going to ask Dane and Jennifer, do you want to say anything about yourselves? I know I introduced you, but I want to give you that opportunity if you so desire.
Thanks, Chad. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dane Sanders. I work directly underneath Chad in the Development Innovation Department at West Michigan Works. It is an honor to be here with you guys all. Hopefully you guys are excited as MiCareerQuest is unfolding shortly. We welcome you all for any questions, inquiries, and we hope to see you on Wednesday, May 20th. Thank you.
And hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer. I also work on Chad's team at West Michigan Works, and really excited to see you. I've just been kind of doing some behind-the-scenes stuff with getting things ready for the event. We're really excited for it and looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you both. All right. So one of the things that is really important for me to mention is that MiCareerQuest cannot happen without a number of partnerships that we have. Um, a big part of this is, we have some really great industry talent councils that are focusing on high impact or high growth, high demand industries. And that includes advanced manufacturing, agribusiness, construction, hospitality, health sciences, and information technology. So we have some great colleagues at West Michigan Works who really lead employers in this space. And I'll go a little bit deeper into them, but I just want to make sure you all know that we have some great staff that are working directly with employers to make sure that we have great exhibits at MiCareerQuest. On top of that, we work directly with our ISD leads, which I think some of them are here today. And so we have some great leads from Allegan in Beth Johnston, in Barry with Rich Franklin. Dana and I are playing point for our Ionia schools. Oh, you know what? I did not update this. Kent ISD is actually Krista Harmon, and I missed that. So Krista Harmon and Ryan Graham are a part of Kent ISD. Montcalm is Penny Dora and Ashley Reisbig. Muskegon is Stephen Pettifor, and I think I saw David Ladd from Ottawa ISD on the call here as well. Our employer champions, we have, we just, I won't go through all of their names, but just to let you know, this is really, we see this as also an employer-run initiative. And so we really couldn't do this without our great employer partnerships. We have representatives from businesses across our 7-county region who they look at this as an opportunity to get youth excited about the different career opportunities within our region, focused on all of those different industries too. And so not only are the employer champions coming and trying to get their colleagues and other businesses, sometimes competitors, to come and be a part of this, but they're also providing oversight on our steering committee to make sure that we're making the best decision possible for both the ISDs as well as for all of the employers that are represented here. I want to also mention, our ISD committee they're the ones making the recommendations for the schools that then go to the steering team. Really, our steering team, I believe, has been great at saying, yeah, we take the ISD's recommendation. And so it's just been a really nice partnership in that way. Let me make sure. There we go. All right, so a couple of things, and this is going to get to the why for MiCareerQuest. I always like to say, I always say it's the youth. It might be like a young millennial thing, but when we look at the numbers, it's just the math isn't mathing when it comes to what are we going to do in the future when we see that we have baby boomers who are approximately 61 to 80 years old. We have they are starting to leave the workforce. We have the first Gen Xers who will become eligible for Social Security and Medicare in 2027. So we need to add 4.6 million workers every year to replace this group as they retire. And so what are we doing to ensure that students choose, that the future workforce is choosing a career in agribusiness, hospitality? I won't go through all of them. I've mentioned them, but all of our industry councils. And what we know is that there is a gap, right? There is a gap in the number of work-ready individuals who are going to be graduating from Gen Z to Gen Alpha, and then continuing on there. So MiCareerQuest really came about as a response to this. How are we helping to make sure that students and youth, really the future of our workforce, how are we making sure that they are choosing careers and being exposed to careers that maybe they have not heard of before? And so MiCareerQuest is the answer to that. So we utilize our industry talent councils, and to give you a little bit more information about these are councils that are employer-driven, employer-led. They are convened by West Michigan Works, and they include a few representatives from our great education partners as well. And so what they do is they develop pillars for how we grow the workforce within these industries. And really the focuses are typically promoting the industry, recruitment, retention, and then funding for talent related initiatives. Discover Manufacturing is a great example of, while all of these programs have come together and said My Career Quest is a focus for them, they also have a lot of their own great opportunities around throughout the year. Discover Manufacturing runs our Manufacturing Week. Our Agribusiness runs our Career Exploration. Our West Michigan Tech Talent, they're running a great program called, I believe it's the AI Code Experience. And so all of these projects, all of these industries are doing everything they can to make sure that students are exposed to great opportunities within the industry. And then on top of that, we always have our hot jobs list. If you haven't heard of it, you can go to westmiworks.org, click on job seekers, and you'll see our hot jobs list pretty immediately when you click there. And this is released every single year, and it has, based on labor market index information or labor market information, it pulls together all of the high growth, high demand careers within our 7-county region. And our team does a great job at compiling that. So let's get into the brass tacks of MiCareerQuest then. So what is it? It's interactive, it's hands-on, it's purposeful and inspiring. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing the hot jobs list in the chat. We have it at DeVos Place on May 20th. Students arrive at 8:30 a.m. and then the event ends at 1:45 p.m. We'll get deeper into the details, but there are once again 3 sessions this year. If you've been before, if you came last year, we really didn't change too much in terms of the composition and the timeline of it. The idea of it is that, one, it's not a career fair. It's a career exploration experience. It is hands-on, highly tactile. We're asking employers to bring their best and to exhibit the really cool things that highlight the careers that are available connected to their work. And so during MiCareerQuest, students rotate through sectors highlighting 6 high-demand industries that we've talked about, and then students engage directly with professionals and participate in activities that showcase various high-growth occupations, opening their eyes to opportunities for great careers in West Michigan. And then we also will have representatives from educational institutions that help students make a connection between training, education, and careers. Continuing on here, we have DeVos will be divided into 4 industries again, and it's big. It is a big event. It's a big footprint. We'll have our industry champions there representing their careers. We'll have our higher education sponsors. Our platinum sponsor is GRCC. They will have tables at all of the quadrants. But then I also want to give a special shout out to Kent ISD, which they are our gold sponsor. And I know Ryan Graham's going to be walking around too there. We also have quadrants that will be piped and draped with colors to match the quadrant themselves, as well as lanyards. So that should hopefully be helpful for navigating the experience. And so this is what it looks like. And if you've been before, I'll do a quick, I can actually sketch here. So I'll kind of sketch a little bit. So students are going to enter off the bus in here. They'll come into one of these holding areas in the Grand Gallery. And then from there, they'll be able to enter with their corresponding lanyards. So red is going to enter here. We have yellow and green are entering here. And then finally, we have blue is entering here. And they're going to rotate in a counterclockwise fashion until they've made it through all of the quadrants. And so now I need to make sure, you know what? I'm excited I did this. I got too excited and then I don't know how to erase all this, so it's going to be there for the moment. So pretty much what happens is we will give everyone 23 minutes to be in each quadrant, and there will be a great opportunity to connect with often I think we have about on average, we have about 30 different 30 different exhibits in each of these quadrants. All right. And so this is just an example of what students can interact with. We have, for example, we have our new Explore Hospitality has bed making. So this is connected to some of our hotels, and they can learn not only how to make beds, but also I believe that they were learning how to make towel animals too. One of the surprising things in hospitality too was last year we had what I believe were vacuum races. And so students were competing who could actually vacuum up dirt on a rug. I was surprised at how much attention that was getting. The students, not only students interested in vacuuming, but some of you may not be surprised. I was also surprised at how many students had a lot of trouble working a vacuum. So it was a great experience for all to be introduced, and hopefully a great experience for parents and guardians, for students to come back and know that they learned how to vacuum as well. But then on top of that, we're going to have our auto diesel, auto mechanic exhibit here. I know they are coming back. We have a really popular exhibit where students race to use drills and screw in screws. I know that we will have our EMTs back again. We have great opportunities in broadcasting. I think our community media center will be back, and so this will be focusing on careers in podcasting and radio. And then this one, I'm trying to remember what it is, but we have a lot of robotic tools, and especially in healthcare careers, we have a lot of really cool robots that really focus on surgery. One that I'll mention that's really cool is being these really tiny tools that actually perform surgery on eyes. And so being able to see how that works was really awesome. So I've got a couple of videos for you, so we can take a moment of not having to listen to me for a brief time. And I want to make sure that I'm going to try playing it and make sure that that you can hear it. And let me pause here for a moment, because it looks like it's not going to play. Okay. All right. Thanks for bearing with me. I am almost here. Right. Let me get rid of notes. Okay. Here we go.
MiCareerQuest is a multi-industry career exploration event. So we have 4 different industries that come together to show students what it's like to have a career in one of these industries. The entire event is really about exposing students to careers they may never have heard about before. We really want to change perceptions. Together, we're construction, advanced manufacturing, health sciences and technology, and information technology. We have great occupations within all of our industries that can be viable and just as fantastic as being a doctor or lawyer can be. It really started because Michigan Works saw that there was a need for students to see careers and career opportunities. What if we collaborate on a level far beyond anything that we've ever done before?
MiCareerQuest intentionally is a different experience. It's designed for the students to interact with employers in a way that they can touch and see and experience the day-to-day job that they might encounter if they pursue that occupation. And I think it's important for the community in the region. They support our economic viability in West Michigan. These sectors are all high growth, high wage opportunities. This is a very influential time in students' lives, and quite frankly, the opportunities are limitless right now.
I cannot get 9,000 students into my company alone. But what I can do is collaborate with my peers and with my competitors and with my educators, and I can showcase in a way that's far beyond anything that I can do as an individual. MiCareerQuest is employer driven. And so that means that we need businesses to come to the table to say, we're willing to give our time. We're willing to give our people the opportunity to work with students. We're willing to bring our equipment in, and we're willing to help fund this event. Every single dollar that's raised is out of the kindness of the businesses that come to the table. And so without them, this event wouldn't exist.
This is something that is totally different. It's not a trade show. It's not a science fair. It's a way for a student to see a career in a totally different light. Quite frankly, our employees that get to go to this experience and engage with students come away more energized and excited about their own career because they've just had a student go, wow, I get to do that every day. And I go, oh, I did get to do this every day. And it's cool.
All right. And I'm going to show you one video. That first, or one more video. That first video really, hopefully, gives you just, you know, a number of individuals sharing with you almost exactly what I've already been sharing with you. But this next one, I think, gives a better understanding of what kind of the student experience is and what some of that energy is that comes in. And I want to make sure, I got a notice that said my sound wasn't working, but were you all hearing my sound? I didn't hear anything. All right, good. That's what I figured, but I had to check. So here's the student experience. Huh, all right. I saw some people say no sound. Dana and Jennifer, did you? Oh, you didn't hear sound. Oh, that's really odd. All right, we'll try one more. Let me try one more time here. Awesome. And that's a quick, actually put together a number of quick videos that you can share with students if you haven't already. I will be sharing this presentation if you want to pull any of these videos. I will also be sharing this presentation where we'll get to a point where there are some links that you can use. But if you ever, you know, if you ever need any materials, usually your first place to stop is going to be MiCareerQuest.org, where you can find resources for educators as well as resources for students. Those are going to be probably your two best places for items to share with students. Right, I'm going to go back to presenting in Teams. Here we go. Pardon me while I get us back to where we were. So I want to take a moment before we get into details. Well, first I'll kind of give you what we're going to be able to expect for 2026. Right now, and really the student number continues to fluctuate just a little bit as we're honing in and making some calls. But right now we're at 8,281 students registered. We have 99 participating employers. That's 10 more employers than last year. and then also 309 careers featured. So this is a packed event. And I want to promote now, we take surveys from our exhibitors, our volunteers, all of you. We ask you to fill out a survey as well as the students. And one of the surveys we got said, student participants said what I liked best was that it showed me how many different options there were for things I could do after high school. It was nice to see things that I wasn't interested in before. So before I move on, I want to ask everyone here, what are some of the things that you all have done so far to prepare students, or what do you plan to do to prepare students for this event? And don't feel like you need to go on camera. You can either put it in the chat or go off mute and let us know. But I'd be curious to hear from some of you. All right. Andrea says, I plan on meeting with my group of students and hyping up how this is not just another career fair. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Andrea put that in the chat. Please feel free to throw it in the chat. I'll mention too, I'm a former teacher. I'm not afraid of wait time, I'll tell you.
Hi guys, Dave from Ottawa.
Dave.
I just shared with our group coming that a sheet where the students are able to maybe select some of the employers in advance from the list that'll be there.
Right.
Do a little research on what the company does, what interest might the student have that would guide their questions, what types of jobs does the company do? Is there a question or two that you would want to ask the person that you may speak with? And then they're going to have a sheet with them. I shared this out to all the counselors and teachers that are coming, who the student is, what grade they're in, a list and sent the whole list with the link for all the employers that are going to be there. So then the student can make
Awesome.
notes on their sheet, and then certainly hoping that when the event is done, the educators then will do a follow-up with their students about what did you see, what did you hear, who did you visit with, is it something that interests you, what kind of classes maybe could you take in school that could help tee up that career going forward. For the eighth graders, maybe is their ninth, 10th grade level class that could help move toward that. So that's one of the things that we have set for our students that are going.
That's awesome. And what also, David, one of our ISD leads, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, and that's great. This is, one of the things that David and some of the other ISD leads had recommended to me and Dane is getting the educator packet out as soon as possible, even if that means having a preliminary one that has last year's employers and careers. Because it does, it's not until about April that we had all of the employers solidified and the careers. So I really appreciated that advice so we could start the conversation sooner. And so, my hope is that helped David, work with all of you who are in Ottawa. So thanks for sharing, David.
Appreciate a lot what you guys have done. You've made it really efficient for information for our educators and stuff. And all the information, by the way, Ottawa County, all your materials are coming the end of the week. So I'll see you all soon.
Awesome. And then I'll mention one last one here from Aubrey. Our students have always enjoyed how hands-on this experience was. We are really excited to take our whole group of eighth graders this year, which is awesome. I'm really excited about that. We prep them ahead of time for what the day will be like and how they can get the most out of their time. And really that prepping ahead of time, it is I will tell you personally, I'm not a big fan of crowds, even as an adult. So I imagine some students are like that, so that preparation probably goes a long way. I even though that's the case, I get pretty energized at my career quest, so you won't see me in a corner by any means. All right. So let's get into some more of the nitty-gritty. One of the things I do like to mention is we would love to have student media there. If any of your schools have student media like newspapers, video reporting programs, you are invited to attend, or those students are invited to attend. Just let me know if that's of interest to you. And then my email is right there, cpatton@westmiworks.org. Just first initial, full last name at westmiworks.org. The other thing I do want to mention, and there are always questions about this, so I want to be really intentional about this. One of the things about MiCareerQuest is it's so large. We do invite press to attend. We have some photographers that really their goal is to take larger scale photos where, one of the big photos is going to be uh, an aerial shot with a lot of the students. So these are really we're not selling tickets. We're not trying to promote to make a profit. If anything, we're just trying to put this event on. And so that's why one, we really want to make sure that students have from all of you something that says that they are able to have their picture taken. But then there might be some photos that are taken if they're staged groups, and a student knows that they don't have that photo release, to have them kind of step aside there. There could be an opportunity for individual video interviews. Those would be the case where we're saying we're going to make sure we get the student's name and get a release, because we will not be releasing any focused videos on students that without that release. So that would be a case where we of course want to be very careful there. All right, so a few pre-event activities if you haven't done some already. So prepare students for the employers at the event, kind of like David was talking about. You should have an educator packet and then the jobs represented by industry. And we did update the educator packet to include all of our employers, exhibits, and then the careers as well. There are student activities connected to the educator packet as well. And then very important to do before MiCareerQuest, it helps prepare the students for the event as well. We also have some questions in there that are helpful to students. And I'm going to be honest with you, they're helpful for exhibitors too, because we're giving those questions to exhibitors and they are preparing answers to those questions as well. So, anything to kind of help that conversation, to make it a little bit easier to have that flow of information and to really continue that energy at the event. So please feel free. I encourage you to share the questions for exhibitors. And then we have online resources and partner or working with mynextmove.org. Everything that West Michigan Works does, we'd like to connect to ONET. It's a great resource for us. And anything we can do to augment all of that information, it's just a lot of information and it can be difficult to navigate. So we try our best to assist in navigating that. These are some of the items that I want to make sure that I will be getting out to you. But just to kind of show you a few of them, if you've been here before, you're probably aware of our 3D walkthrough. This link, that first link there, will take you here. This is really, I'm keeping the 2025 one up because actually, no, I do need to update some of this, as I'm realizing right now, because some of the things have changed. But if you go to that link, it'll take you directly to the MiCareerQuest 3D walkthrough, and it will look a lot like this. And so when you go to it, you can actually see, and this is a great activity for you to do before the event, or to encourage students, if you do have if you have computer time or if you have laptops, to have them check out, to get an idea of what this event is going to look like. And this is, we've tried to make it pretty easy to navigate. So if you are interested in any of our particular industries, you should be able to, let me check. Here we go. You should be able to click on one of these and immediately go, for example, to Hearthside Foods, which is now, I think, Maker's Pride. Or another one of our popular ones over here is Critter Barn, and they do bring their critters to the event as well. So this is a great resource to, obviously you won't be able to, it's empty, there aren't students there, it won't give you an idea of how many students will be there, but it gives you an idea when you click on these exhibits. It helps you to prepare and see, hey, this is what Critter Barn does. It'll link there a video, and many of them will actually link a website too. So I really like this experience. It was something we added in 2024. And then, of course, we have a variety of videos for all of our industry councils, a little bit of information about them. This is on the For Students page. And then we have our quadrant maps. I will mention there should be an update coming to construction. We added 2 more exhibits, but other than that, everything here should be up to date so you can plan and work with students to help them plan for the event itself. So like I said, these are really great resources that I hope that you share with students. Let's get back to it. All right. So on the bus, it's a great opportunity to, especially I'm very aware some of you are coming from, Muskegon, from the Lakeshore, Muskegon, Ottawa, or potentially from Ionia, Montcalm, Barrie, Allegan. You have a bus ride, and I think that's a great time to work with students to focus them as best you can, of course. And so, reviewing potential questions to ask is a great thing that you can do on the bus. Reviewing expectations, and I think that's really important as well. There are so many activities, so many students, anything you can do to help prepare the students as and get them excited. And then making sure to review the exit plan. That's also going to be important. Remember to bring your lanyards and inserts, however, and which please do. It'll make the experience very smooth and helpful for everyone. But if you forget it for whatever reason, we do have extra available at the info desk, so a representative can go up there. And I'll mention Dane will be at the info desk on the day of the event. One thing I'll mention too is there is a nice little square here. Let me get there's a nice little square here for buses. You can get off at one of these sites. Usually you can get off right here, or you can get off right here, and this is the staging area for bus drop-off. I'll kind of talk with you a little bit about what that's going to look like and what the whole feel of that will be. And one of the things I want to hit now, if you are coordinating with buses, the Mount Vernon street is not going to be open this year for overflow parking. It's my understanding that hasn't been a problem. It could be at session 2 because that is going to be a pretty packed experience there. But this lot, because if you've heard about the soccer stadium being built, or I'm sorry, this street is not open for parking. So we've been encouraged to have buses to continue up Scribner if there are not spots available to park. We'll get to that in a moment there. Also, something that what is exciting is there are no road closures except for, and this is not a closure, it's that Mount, I believe it's, yeah, Mount Vernon that will not allow for parking. It is still open though. And so when you get, I don't expect all of you to read it. I think it's too small for you to read it, but really I put this here because this is a script for our bus greeters. As soon as the bus kind of pulls up in the lineup for bus drop-off, there will be greeters. They will be volunteers as well as CJ students from local ISDs that are coming on and telling you about what to expect and what the process is going to be. They'll also explain what the colored lanyards mean And really, you know, and you'll know this if you've been to a MiCareerQuest before, really what it means is that's going to be the color corresponding with the first quadrant you will be going to, as well as what door you should stand at. There will be banners up above, and so that will be really helpful. Also, it's really helpful for students to have their lanyards on because we need, what part of our safety is, um, and Karen, I see you put something there. Part of our safety is we want to make sure that every single person has some type of identifier because it is a large event. Oh, okay. So Karen, one of the things I would recommend is making sure that when you get on Scribner, that you continue to follow along here. This might be helpful. So this is Scribner right here. And so making sure that the buses continue and then turn right onto Michigan. And then when you get here, you'll see, this is where you'll see a lineup of buses probably. If you end up coming a little later, what you might see is some buses parked on Scribner. And if you park behind them, then that's no one will come. Um, and so I want to make sure that if you're coming ahead of time or not, right, you continue to move around. If the buses aren't moving at all, that's going to be an issue. You want to make sure that you're continuing around until you get to that bus drop-off point. So thank you for asking that. I don't know if that was exactly what happened. I'm taking some guesses here. But if it is, yeah, make sure the bus continues to move. If no one's coming, then I recommend you move and continue. Yeah, okay, good. Yep, good call on that. And I will make sure to update this. So yes, there is a possibility that you might end up, depending on when you come, you might end up on Scribner and you might line up there. But then making sure to come through, that's going to be important. Yeah, let me double check. I can send out an email just to confirm as well, because I don't want that to happen. I don't want anyone to be waiting and no one comes. All right. So arrival, every student and chaperone should have a lanyard. I mentioned that. I highly recommend getting that on. Um, Chaperones will complete a survey questions on a mobile phone using a QR code. And then students, everyone will arrive at DeVos Place. You'll get a school sign. You'll get surveys. Oh, thanks, Nate. And then you'll get MiCareerQuest backpacks. There are no outside backpacks allowed, but one chaperone should bring a backpack to hold their sign during MiCareerQuest. Also, one caveat, and I want to make sure I highlight this, medical devices and medical products, of course, are allowed, but all bags, including chaperone bags, are subject to inspection. We want to make sure you have something where you can carry those devices around. But for the safety of the event, we really want to limit the number of bags, only for one per chaperone, and then if you do have medical devices or prescriptions, anything like that. All right, and this is kind of reiterating some of the things where I wanted to mention that Mount Vernon is not going to be available for parking, but Scribner is. And then if there is overflow, you can continue north on Scribner, just north of Bridge Street, and that you can also park there. You will have to kind of, just use your imagination here, you will kind of have to continue up and then make a loop this way in order to turn left onto Bridge Street and come back. Or I'm sorry, no, in order to turn left onto Pearl Street and then come back on Scribner for pickup. Okay, thanks for that, Nate. I'll look into that as well. And this is, Dane, this might be something to coordinate. I'm just kind of looking at the chat to make sure that we might have some people on Scribner, just checking the buses to see that if there are students on there. So I appreciate you all of you sharing this with me because I don't want this to be the case where you're just waiting on Scribner. So that'll be something too that we can make sure we get some clarity, we get some good information to you. And then also we're working with our project leads on transportation to make sure that they're checking to make sure that you are moving in the right direction and getting to the event as quickly as possible. So thank you all for letting me know that. Yeah, and yes, it is a vexing event especially for your first time. So yeah. So for the student experience, there are 3 sessions. I'll mention that, the second session is going to be packed. Our first session is the lightest, and then our third session is going to be in second. So it's about 4,000 students for session 2, about 2,500 if I'm remembering correctly for session 3, and then just under 2,000 for session 1. So students will arrive through the Monroe entrance. I mentioned that. They will get 23 minutes in each industry sector, about 3 minutes to move between each sector as well. There will be music. We are moving back to Move It. And so just want to prepare you for that. And there will be color-coded pool noodles that correspond with lanyard colors that will help guide students to the next site when that or the next quadrant when the music's playing. If you do need to leave early, feel free to reach out to me, and I will make sure that that the right people are aware of that. And then this is the student flow for entrance and exit. So our blue lanyards are going to line up at this first entrance on the right here. Our yellow and green, sorry about that, will go right in the middle entrance here, and then our red will go right here on the far entrance here. And what will happen is the red will go, we want to keep the entry points the same. The red will come around and enter here, and you can see where all these arrows are going. Green goes into agribusiness, yellow in construction, and then blue is going to come around into advanced manufacturing. When all of the students have gone through every single quadrant, they're going to go ahead and exit. Yellow is going to go through the grand gallery. Red will go through the exit inside the exhibit hall, but on the very left if you're facing the river. And then blue and green will come on the very right if you're facing the river. One of the things I do want to mention about the exit as well is that we have instructed all of our volunteers and CJ students to help move groups along. I know that can be concerning and a little scary. We don't want to have any bottlenecks. So 1, we can get the next group of students in, and 2, we want to make sure we're getting you to your buses as quickly as possible as well. So make sure that you're communicating with students that we are leaving, we're going to walk across the bridge, and then have a spot where you can connect and do your head counts. Making sure that all students are together, and that's communicated is going to be important. And I'll get to another point on this here in a moment. This is just another map. It really points out how the lanyards correspond. So of course, blue lanyards are going to go to manufacturing, and then they move around and end at construction. And then all of the other lanyards will start, for example, with the corresponding colors. Everything is color coded. We try to make that user experience as easy as possible. We're always open to comments and yeah, any ideas for change there, but my hope is that it works out nicely. I already went pretty deep into the exit plan, but color papers, we will have those above the exit doors too, so that will help you too. And then one thing I'll mention, if you are carpooling or have chaperone-driven students, exit the same way, but then you'll break off to go at the parking lot underneath DeVos if you parked there. And so this is where students will exit. We have asked everyone to kind of help usher students out here walking on the sidewalk. My hope is it's going to be a nice day. Students will move across the bridge, and then at Anabawan Park, this is where you'll want to gather the students. Oh, forget that, because that is not accurate there, but buses will park here. And then we will have people on the volunteers on the other side helping to get students in the right color-coded areas. So of course, make sure here that you're getting your students together and before you get on the bus. We have never had a problem with students, with schools leaving on the bus without students. What it happens maybe once every other year. We might have a couple students who are in the bathroom or they get separated from the group, but we have always found them. And we're very diligent in making sure that students get reunited. So I wanna reassure you of that. We have yet to have an issue, a big issue here. A note about the exit plan too. I told you that we do have CJ students or criminal justice students and volunteers doing this. We did hear from one of our teachers that for the criminal justice students that there was a little bit of pushing, and I understand the concern of, I don't have all of my students, I need to gather them before we leave. But all of the CJ students have been, and volunteers have been instructed to continue to usher people out the doors and across the bridge. Please keep in mind these are students, right? These are teenagers. And so it was a bit disconcerting to hear that there was a little bit of pushing happening. I'm not accusing, I'm just saying let's be respectful and I want to make sure we all understand the instructions that were given to them. And then likewise for our general volunteers, they're mostly all adults, but we've given them instructions. We want to make sure that this is a great event for everybody. On the bus ride home, you will get QR codes. If I understand this, what becomes tough is I know that Michigan has passed some laws around cell phone use in schools and all of that. Some of you are in schools that have really enacted them even before that law. If students have cell phones, we really encourage them on the bus to fill out the QR code. But also, we will send the QR code for the student surveys out to all of the teachers. If you have an opportunity to have them fill it out during class time or remind them, that would be great. I will also add that students, as well as educators, when we send the educator survey out, will have an opportunity to get a prize for filling out the survey. Also, do not give out the surveys. You will get those. You'll get those in baggies, the QR codes. Don't give them out until you get on the bus, please. And then also the educator survey, a part of getting your sketches is to fill out that survey in addition to attending this event as well as the MiCareerQuest event. So please make sure you do that. Also, we had a few educators who did not put their sketch code, or I forget the name of it, but pretty much the personal identification code, probably a PIP code. So please make sure to do that if you want to get your sketches as well when you take the survey. For time, I already talked about a few exhibits of examples in another slide. So before I ask you questions, I do want to see if any of you have questions because I know we've got 7 minutes left on this, but I want to make sure that your questions are answered before I am asking you any questions. I know, oh, and here we go. Yes, absolutely. Actually, why don't I give you the link for the virtual walkthrough right now? And then, like I said, I will send out this this PowerPoint as well, so you have all of those links too. Thanks for asking that, Andrea. And I know I want to reiterate we had a good number of questions about bus drop off. I thank you for sharing that with me. We'll work on making sure that we communicate with our project leads for transportation to get that to you. You should. So yeah, are you looking which packet are you looking for? If it's the educator packet, we did send out an updated packet to the ISD leads that has the updated exhibitors, as well as the careers. So that has come out. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Krista. Yeah, I can work on getting some. Let me dig into a little bit more of the specifics. So to also let you know, this is my first time being very hands-on with this, so it's good for me to hear this and see what we can do with making sure that this is good. Okay, so it's the bus packet. I did send out the bus packet, but yes, let me make sure that all of the information is accurate, and then to make sure that we have bus greeters knowing, hey, we need to look out for some folks. Yeah, and we did send out to all of the ISD leads a transportation packet too, which goes a little bit deeper into the bus protocol. Awesome. Krista, I didn't see it come in. But hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for putting that in there. All right, a couple of questions for you, and I'm just going to take 2 minutes. So actually, I'm just going to ask one question. Um, I want to know what is most beneficial to you about MiCareerQuest. Um, I want to put that out there. And actually, you know what? I'm going back on my word. I want to see if you feel like answering this question. What could MiCareerQuest do to support you more around career development overall? Whether it's MiCareerQuest, whether it's just West Michigan Works supporting you in your work. We have a lot of resources, and I want to make sure those are available to you. You are going to test my wait time here because also there will be an opportunity to fill out a survey, and I want to make sure you have some time as well. So I recognize the time is getting short. Um, here is a QR code for you to fill out the survey for sketch credits. I will, like I said, I'll send out this PowerPoint to everyone. I will also get you a link in an email to everyone. So I'll just reply all to everyone on this event. And then Nate, thank you for posting something. You're a lifesaver. I like that. It gets kids thinking about the world of work early. More career fields would be great, but understand limitations. Absolutely. Yep. One of the things we get is how do we get more career fields? How do we get more time? 23 minutes can go by pretty quickly. Yeah, so thanks for sharing that. We hit questions, but feel free to ask any other questions while I'm going to leave that survey up just for a moment in case you want to go ahead and fill that out now. And then Karen, it would be great if there was a spreadsheet of employers who are willing to present at school career days or to have students job shadow. That's good information for me to share with our industry talent councils, which is also why it's important for me to share what they do, because that is in their wheelhouse. I know they already do a lot by presenting at MiCareerQuest, but it would be great to have a resource list like that. Yeah, that's great. That is something that we can work through, and I'll bring that back to my colleague Carrie. Getting tickets was very difficult. I know it is there. We call them the Taylor Swift tickets of career exploration. Is there any way each school could automatically get a certain amount of tickets based on the fact that the district wants to go and based on their size? That would be something, and I like that we have our ISD leads on here. That would be something I think to discuss. Tickets are a pain point regularly. So, and then first and second session choices on what session they want. Yeah, let me think about that. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, Libby. I know it's 8:29. I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you. Like I said, if you missed that survey, I want to make sure you fill that out. You can get your sketch credits, all of that. But thank you so much for being a part of this. This continues to be a great event because all of the support we get from all of you, from our ISD leads, from employers, and from the team here at West Michigan Works. So thank you so much. I want to make sure I get you out on time, but C. Patton at westmiworks.org if you need anything from me. And then I'm with my colleagues, Dane and Jennifer, who will be happy to support. So thank you all. I can stick around if you have questions, but at this point, thank you and have a great day. We'll see you on May 20th. Yeah, appreciate it, Nate. Thanks, Andrea.